I think, Tommy, it's a really good question. We have to consistently find out. I think let's talk offensively first. Offensively, as painful as it is to only score 3 points last week, there was some positive in that football game. You saw some consistency of us moving the football and looking like an offense. We ran the football a little bit, and I thought our offensive line got better through the game, but there's two critical errors in the football game. Now, whether we can debate those, because I think they're debatable, to be honest with you, in terms of, the calls that were called on it. But the one right before half where we're moving the football, it's 3rd or 4th and 1, and, we're called for, not having enough guys on the line of scrimmage, a play that we've run consistently through fall camp, through, the early part of the season. That's a critical error. It ends up taking, now we go into 4th and 8, we don't convert, there's no points on the board, you have a chance to catch some momentum going into halftime. And then the same thing happens in the third quarter. We're kind of moving the football, we're getting ourselves at least have a chance to score and maybe get ourselves back into the football game, and the same thing occurs. They call us for an illegal formation. I think both of those are maybe a little bit debatable, and we'll see, but we have to be clear on our end, and we got to make it not debatable. But those are self-inflicted wounds. That's really hard. And then you flip on the defensive side, and we get a great 3rd down stop down in the red zone, a chance to force them to kick a field goal and sack the quarterback, and instead of it being a sack and make their field goal team come on, we get a face mask, and all of a sudden they go in and score another touchdown. So I think it's continuing to teach, it's continuing to understand discipline, and we've got to do a great job as teachers, as coaches. Coaching is teaching. We got to do a great job as teachers, continuing to teach and be great teachers ourselves. So, I think those things are frustrating when you talk about discipline and detail within the football game. And my other piece is consistency of fundamentals. We got to tackle, and we got to be able to catch and throw the football with consistency, and that just didn't show up at all throughout the game on Saturday, in my opinion. Well, I think Joel and Jacob, that hasn't changed since the start of fall camp with both of those guys. The quarterback position is really simple for us. Is no matter who the quarterback is or what the quarterback is, it's about, number one, my ability to provide great leadership, knowing what we're trying to get accomplished within the offensive scheme. Number two, it's consistency of throwing the football. And number three, I think it's the ability to have great leadership out there and understanding. And so, both of those guys have done some really good things through fall camp. Both those guys have worked really hard at it. Obviously, Joel's situation the first 2 football games is, he'd love to have some of that back. I know he would, but I know Joel Lanning. Joel Lanning's a competitor. He's really tough. It's really personal, and he's going to work really hard to get himself better and continue to grow. Jacob is a guy that, needs to continue to learn our system, know what the expectations are, and continue to get better day in and day out. So, that's the situation. Those are the expectations for us, and it really hasn't changed. We do have to get better there, and we have to get more consistent there, and that's something we're going to work really hard on, and we started that last night in practice, and we'll continue to work on that through the week. Right. I think that's the challenge for us. Obviously, number one is going against them, and I think statistically it certainly has shown maybe they're not where they've been statistically, but you turn the film on, and a lot of guys back from a year ago that had been injured and had been dinged up. I think you're starting to see them, even at times in the second half of that game against Arkansas, really start to come into their own. The old running, tackling, making great plays on the ball. They got some really good players, and I think just it's a matter of getting themselves back to some of those guys back from a year ago that are settling back into where they played and what they need to do. And, from our standpoint, I think as much as we have to worry about TCU, we got to address Iowa State, and we got to address our fundamentals, our details, and we got to take care of what gives us the best opportunities for us to be successful. So, we're certainly game planning against that defense, but I think with a sharp eye on ourselves and what we need to do to continue to get ourselves better and give us the best opportunity to be successful.